you will focus on inventory management.
Okay.
Okay, so inventory management. It's a common area. It's a common area also in this paper. It's really a common area. They can ask this even in section A. They can ask this in section A. But this is the process of what? This is the process of controlling. A process of controlling how much stock you order, then the one you store, then the one you use, and the one you sell, to avoid the shortages, and overstocking. That is a simple definition of inventory management. Because here with inventory management, how you order matter, how the goods you store, the goods you stock, the way you use your goods, then also those ones that you sell, all that one you must try to manage or to control. Okay, that is the inventory management. Simply put it as managing. This is here you are managing stock. You are managing stock so that you, how can I put it? You're managing stock so that you never run out and never keep too much. Try to manage it so that you don't run out of stock or you don't keep too much stock. That's how inventory management is. And you will find that this one includes what does it include? What does it include? Basically, in the long run, you will find that here we are looking at what you need to determine. You need to be determining issues related to reorder point. You need to calculating. You need to be calculating the economic order quantity. You need to be calculating. You need to set. It will involve setting the safety stock. It will involve setting the safety stock. It will involve also you as a person monitoring the stock levels. As you manage the inventory, this is what you need. You need to be preventing the stock outs. You need to be reducing on what? You need to be reducing on the holding costs. For you to say that you're managing the inventory. Also try to reduce on the holding costs. At the same time, you need to be tracking the slow moving items. You need, as a person, you need to be forecasting the demand. You need to be coordinating. With suppliers. All this is very, very key. So you must. The goal of this inventory management is basically to balance the availability and the cost control. Do you have enough stock? But at the same time, balance the cost, the cost control, not too much inventory, because still, if you have too much inventory, then still you are not balancing. The what? The boot. Okay. Now, when we are talking about something like now determining the reorder point, these are some things that you need to also know. Determining what is first of all reorder point. because these things can be asked as well in your paper. Here, reorder point, determining reorder point here, you're meaning what? You're basically determining the reorder point. Here, what do you do? What are you doing exactly? Determining the reorder point. You set, here you are setting, you set a specific, level. You set a specific level where you will where you must order again, order again, so that stock doesn't finish before doesn't get done before the new stock arrives. I'm using the simple language so that you can understand this. When you're determining the reorder point, you simply here you're setting the level. You're setting the level. The key idea is that you know when to order before everything is finished. That's what we are trying to say. Know when to order. Know when to order. When to order before everything is finished. That is something that you need to know. You as a manager. That is reorder point. At what point can you order for other what? Can you order for another stock? Okay. So that is reorder. That is reorder point. That is reorder point. So this is the inventory level. This is the inventory level. You're on level 2. This can be asked even in financial management. This is if you understand it from this side, it will be easier for you also the other side of financial management. This is the inventory level. This is the inventory level at which you must do what? You must place a new order. You must place a new order so that you do not run out of stock. That is reorder. That is reorder point. I believe it is the simplest way I can explain reorder point. So the moment you see that your stock is at this point, please place an order. The idea is you want to ensure that you order enough before stock finishes. That is reorder. That is reorder point. That is reorder point. Then what about any question on reorder point? Reorder point.
No.
I believe it is very, very simplified. Okay, then okay, I believe I'm not wasting your time. I'm not wasting your time because I cannot rush to those things without building up. I want to move.
Okay.
But I'm going to discuss all like in details. Then calculating now the economic order quantity. Calculating the economic order quantity. Basically put it, this is okay. What do we mean here? You calculate the most economic quantity, order that minimizes the total costs. Okay, what do we mean here? You are looking at ordering, most times you're looking at ordering costs and holding costs. You want of course, if the ordering costs are too high, there will also be issues. There will be also issues. If the holding costs are also too high, there will be issues. So we want to calculate the perfect amount to buy each time. Now, economic, if they say you define it, I believe from this thing you can get the correct definition. So here we are meaning that this economic order quantity, a very common area in your FM and MDC. This is the best quantity, of inventory to order at a time that minimizes total inventory costs. And now you know the total inventory costs, the ordering costs, and the holding costs. The quantity you should order so that ordering too often and keeping too much stock are both avoided. Because if you keep on ordering, you end up incurring more what? The more you order, the more costs you're going to incur. The more you hold stock, the more costs you're going to incur. So we must calculate the best quantity of inventory. Why does it matter? It helps the person in business to spend less on the ordering costs, spend less on holding costs. Okay. Do you know the formula? What is economic order quantity? Do you know the formula? Costs and the cost of holding must be per unit as you substitute in this formula. Okay, I believe that's a good build up. Then what else did I talk about? I talked about setting the safety stock, But before I talk about safety stock, let me just, okay. Setting the safety stock. This one, what are we trying to mean basically here? What are we trying to mean when we say that you set the safety stock? You keep the extra stock just in case demand increases, or the supplier delays. This is like keeping a backup to help you in case the demand increases, or in case the supply delays. It will help you. You're keeping simply put it here that this is just keep the backup stock for emergencies. That's how you can understand these things without complicating life. Okay, so what is the safety stock? If they say you define now what is safety stock, can you define safety stock? Safety stock is safety stock. The way you hear safety, you are safe. Safety stock is what? Is the extra stock. Kept aside as a caution in case demand increases, unexpectedly, or in case the suppliers delay deliveries, you will be safe. And for any other emergencies. for any other emergency, for any other emergency. That is the safety stock caution. Safety stock. That is safety stock. Okay, the extra stock you keep for emergency. That is the safety stock. We are going to look at this the applicability. Yeah, they normally ask, I think, even as you set the safety stock, as you set your safety stock, here we are saying that there is also monitoring what? Monitoring the stock levels. There is a difference between setting stock, safety stock and monitoring the stock levels. But before I talk about monitoring the stock levels, you need to know that sometimes it is good to know what we call the optimal level of stock. Sometimes it is good to know this. Sometimes it is good to know the optimal level of safety stock. Safety stock. Sometimes it's good for you to know, because they will be asking in calculations, can you determine the optimal level of stock? This is the best. This is the best. This is the best amount of safety stock at hold. This is the amount of safety stock at hold, so that you avoid stock outs and high holding costs. The best amount of stock so that the best amount of safety stock at hold, so that you avoid stock outs.
You are breaking.
Yeah, you are muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay. How
I
do you
can.
determine optimal level of stock? Optimal level of stock is equal to what? Optimal safety stock is equal to what? Optimal safety stock, you are looking at reorder level. For you to know, to determine this optimal level of safety stock, you're looking at optimal safety reorder. You're looking at reorder safety. Okay, reorder level. This is reorder level minus the expected usage. Reorder level minus the expected usage. Okay. Then what else? Are we in the stock levels? I believe that one is not hard, because with monitoring the stock levels, you frequently check. Here you frequently what? You frequently frequently how much stock prices. Avoid checking the stock you have as a company. You just keep on monitoring. Keep an eye on your stock so that you don't get caught up off guard. That is monitoring the stock levels. It is part of the inventory management because the moment for you don't monitor, it will be tricky for you. You will end up having issues. Preventing stock outs. What do we mean here? You hear when we say preventing stock outs, what do we mean? You take actions. You take actions to ensure you never run out of stock. You never run out of stock or out of goods. So here, as you take the actions here, the actions we mean you set the safety stock. You need to make sure that you do a good forecasting. You get the reliable suppliers. That's how you manage. Because now imagine you don't have a reliable supplier. Highly likely you're going to run out of stock, and there will be issues. The image, the reputation, the customers, the way they will look at you, they need goods you don't have. So you need to be aware of this. Prevent stock outs. Know when the market is high, try to predict. Okay, like that. Reducing the holding costs. Here, preventing the stock outs, you're trying to make sure that customers are never told what is like we don't have it. You try to avoid that you don't have it, yet it's one of your product you sell. Make sure if you're in a business, try as much as possible to always satisfy your customers. Your customers are kings. Don't say you don't have it. So it means that you didn't monitor very well. You didn't monitor very well. You don't have the reliable suppliers. You didn't do the good forecasting. Okay. So reducing the holding costs. Here you avoid keeping too much stock, so that you don't spend heavily. On what could be the holding costs, like on storage, the insurance, what else? The maintenance, because the more you stock, the more you need to maintain. The spoilage, highly likely goods can end up being spoiled, etc. The more you hold the goods, the more costs you may highly likely to incur. Okay, that is holding. The holding costs normally come from there. The costs of keeping inventory in the store, that is holding costs, and those include the storage costs, that is like the rent you're paying, the insurance to insure those goods, the wastage, that is like also like the spoilage, the capital tied up, because here you avoid that. The capital, you remember, every stock you have is capital. The every stock you capital tied up. You could be using that money somewhere. The security costs, because you need people to safeguard your inventory. So those are some of the holding costs. The cost of keeping goods on shelves. Okay, that is holding costs. Try to reduce them. All right. Track most slow-moving inventories. I believe that one is very easy to know. You monitor goods that move slowly. You monitor, you monitor the goods that move through so you don't so that you don't continue buying items that tie up cash and may expire or spoil or be spoiled. So it's good that you keep monitoring those slow moving items, because if you don't keep track of those items, highly likely they can end up being expired or spoiled, or you may end up wasting a lot of money. You buy those items, yet they don't move. You're not selling them. Customers don't normally buy them. Those are slow moving items. So track as a manager, track those goods that don't normally move. Okay, forecasting the demand, I have already explained it. You estimate customers will, here you estimate how much customers will need using you estimate the customers you need. You estimate customers you need using the past data, so that you order enough but not too much. You order enough but not too much. If you know that in December, Christmas season, it's where customers normally buy a particular item. In that period, make sure that you have enough. Make sure that you have enough. You have enough, but not too much. Okay, then next, coordinating with suppliers. You communicate with suppliers about what? You communicate with suppliers, so that they deliver when you need the goods. Okay, that is inventory management, guys. That is inventory management. If you can manage this, then it will be good for you in your business. Especially to those who are dealing in products, not services. Okay, to deliver, there are always those costs of ordering, or what we call the ordering costs. And the ordering costs, those are the costs a business incur every time it makes an order for an inventory. The costs a business incurs every time it makes an order for inventory. And it means that with ordering costs, you have what and what? What are examples of ordering costs? Ordering costs, you have the costs of placing the purchase orders, the transport costs, or the delivery costs. You have charges, you have the inspection costs. You have what? The administrative costs, the communication, the invoicing, the payment, transaction costs. All those ones can be part of, as long as it is directly associated with order. All those ones will be the ordering costs. So I believe that's enough about the theory. Please, they can catch you on theory. Don't just be a person who rely on calculations. always be sure that you can pass the theory. These papers, if you cannot pass the theory, it will be tricky. It will be tricky. It will be tricky. Perfect. So without okay, let's now look at do you need a break? Do you need a break?
No.
Okay, let's
Maybe
look at
you.
let me look at now some examples, some past paper questions on these numbers. We are supposed to stop at what time is okay. Let's look at these calculation numbers. When you look at first of all this paper, when you look at this when you look at but is it good to start with this number? Like it doesn't bring it clearly. Let's look at only 4 marks. Okay. Let me open another one. Question 4. Question 4. Yes. A good question. A good question with good marks. Are you seeing these good marks?
Yes.
You discussed this. You have like 16 for that is like 16 marks. Advise Nakato on the demand for the first quarter for both years. You had discussed this?
No.
You advise Nakato on the demand for the first quarter for both raw materials. You have 6 marks. Then you also advise Nakato on the percentage of the cost of the prediction error. How do we handle this? How do we handle this? Okay, what do we have first of all? What are we given? Here they need the demand for both raw materials, So what are you given? We are told that a group of women in Kasubi Ward pulled funds and started a liquid soap manufacturing businesses and made 1 year of operation. Okay, so you have Nakato, who is in charge of inventory storage, recently attended a training organized by Kwekamba Women Enterprises, a non-government organization. During the training, she learned how inventory management techniques and benchmarking could be applied in manufacturing enterprises. On return to office, she started analyzing the quarterly inventory information for their two types of raw materials. These are 2 types of raw materials that we have. Okay, these are 2 types of raw materials that we have. She gathered the following information for the first 2 quarters of the year, ended 30th June 2021. 1, she established that the first quarter ended 31st December 2020. 31st December 2020. Number 1, the storage of 1,200 kg of material A required 12.8 meters squared of space. Okay, whereas the storage of 1,200 kg of our material B required this. Okay, 1 square meter of space is rented at shillings shilling 30,000. So those are what? When you're reading, this is like your storage cost, isn't it? Storage cost in terms of what we are handling, storage cost is what? Isn't it part of holding costs?
Yes, it's part of, yes.
Part of holding costs. Then the rent is also part of what? Part of holding, isn't it?
Yes.
Roman 3, placement of any raw material, order required communication charge, ordering cost, we have communication charges. So placement of any raw material or any raw material order required communication charge of shillings 2,000. That is number one. That is the ordering cost number one. You have the stationery and printing charge. This is also number two. Then you have the delivery charge. So all these ones are what? Ordering costs, isn't it? Because they are indirectly related to the placement of order. Then Roman 4, minimization of inventory costs requires making orders in batches of what? Making orders in batches of 500,000 grams for our first raw material and 400,000 grams for our second raw material. Okay, so you are given the quantity in batches, and they are in what? In grams. They are in grams. They are in grams. They are in grams. Okay. She established that for the second quarter ending 31st March 2021, the ordering costs per order had been budgeted to increase by what? To increase by this. But the demand and holding costs have remained constant. This second paragraph normally helps when you're dealing with percentage of cost of the prediction error, because that one normally comes when there is a change. When there is a change from the initial to you always look at before and after, compare and see. So that will be for the second quarter. As we do part B, we are going to see. But this is really a very, very easy question, and it doesn't take time. So how do you handle this? How do you handle this? For this question, we have two materials. Are you seeing my workbook? We have two materials. We have the first material. I can call this one as A. Then you have the first material. Now, we are told this material, the storage, when you look at this, first of all, when you're looking at this, the space doesn't matter. Whether you have material A or material B, you have 1 meter squared. 1 meter is equal to what? For the other rent, we are given this. This is the rent. This is the rent. Then the storage costs. Then you have as well the 12.8 meters squared is equal to what? If we are to look for the 12 square meters, this one will be equal to what? If one meter squared is equal to this, what about this? What about this? But let me hope you're not confused. Because here we are told that 1 meter squared of space is rented at this. But you see these 1,200 kgs of our material A required what? Required 12.8 meters squared. So we want to know the storage cost. We want to know the storage cost for those 12.8. For those 12.8.
I'm having 384,000.
So you multiply, yeah? You multiply.
Yes.
Multiply. Which will be shillings?
384.
Pardon?
384,000.
Okay, this is the 1,000 shillings. Okay, that is our storage cost for for 12.8 meters squared. Okay, then it means that what is, remember, holding costs must be per what? Must be per unit. I hope you agree with that. The cost of
Yes.
holding, the holding costs per, now our materials are measured in terms of what? We hold or we stock these materials in terms of what? Is it in terms of kgs, in grams? It is in terms of what? Kgs.
Kilogram.
Kilograms. So it is the holding cost per kg. It will be what? This is like holding, the holding cost, CH. So this will be how much? You get the 384,000 divided by what? Divided by how many kgs? 1,200 kgs. What do you get? These are 1,200 kgs of our first material. You get how much?
320.
320. This is per kg. This is per kg. I believe that is okay. That is okay. What about for the other? Okay. What about for the other material? For our material B, which is what? Which is this one. This one, our material B. I can as well summarize our material B. We have this is our material B. Okay, so we also do the same because still the rent is the same. 1 square meter is what? 1 square meter is 30,000, isn't it? How many meters squared do we need for material B? Material B required 16 meters squared of space. So it means if it required 16 meters squared, are you seeing my screen, my workbook?
Yes.
So for this one, it will be 16. This will be 16 m squared. This one will be equal to what? 16 times 30. How much do you get?
480.
You have 480.
8,000.
Okay. So for this material B, what is the holding cost? Holding cost per kg. It will be 480 divided by number of kgs. How many kgs do you have? How many kgs? The same, The same kgs. 1,200. 1,200. What do you get?
400.
Which is shillings. 400 per kg. So you have this. So we have the holding costs. What about the ordering costs? Are we given the ordering costs? Are we given the ordering costs? The ordering costs are here. The ordering costs are here. All these are ordering costs. They said the placement of any. Are you seeing that word? Of any raw material. Of any. It means that whether you are ordering for material A or material B, the ordering costs will be what? Will be the same. That word is very, very key. Any for any raw material. So it means that here we can get our ordering costs. So with these questions, you need to read very well the language, the total ordering costs, total ordering costs. Total ordering costs will be what? We add and tell me the total. Add and tell me the total. I get 2,000 plus 4,000 plus 14,000. What do you get? 2 plus 4, that is
20,000.
That is 20,000. That is 20,000. Okay, so this is shillings, 20,000. That is the ordering. This is per order. This is per order. This is per order. This one is per order. Total ordering costs. I can say ordering costs. We have that. Okay. Do we have any other information? Let me see. Remember, we need what? We need the demand. We need the demand. It means that they must have given us the what? They must have given us the economic order quantity. Are we given any quantity in this question? Are you seeing this word? Minimization of the inventory costs. Minimization of inventory cost requires making orders of what? As we define the economic order quantity, we define it very well that is the order you are going to make to help you to minimize what? To minimize the costs. When you look at the definition that we gave, okay? Okay, so it means that we have the economic order quantity in batches of 500,000 grams. Please take note that as you determine okay, take note that the quantity that minimizes costs, the inventory cost, is economic order quantity. And also number 2, take note that as you determine the economic order quantity, the economic order quantity should be in the same unit of the holding cost, in the same unit of your materials you are holding. The materials you are holding or the products you are holding are measured in terms of what? Are they measured in terms of grams or they are measured in terms of kgs? Our materials were measured in terms of what? Are measured in terms of what?
Kilograms, kgs.
So you must convert from grams to kgs. You must convert from grams. So we have the economic order quantity. For our material A, for A is what? For our material A is what? For our material A is 500 grams. But we convert this into kgs. Remember 1 kg. 1 kg has how many grams?
1,000 grams.
1,000 grams. 1,000 grams. What about now? How many kgs will you need? How many kgs will you need in 500,000 grams? Your X will be equal to what?
500 kilograms.
This will be 1,000 X times you cross multiply this times this, that is 500. So you need X. X is equal to what? The 500 divided by 1,000, which is equal to what? That is 500 kgs, isn't it?
Yes.
So from there, From there, you can get the demand. So what is demand? So what is demand? What is demand? That is D. From what? From our economic order quantity. The formula we had stated the formula somewhere. This is the formula. From the economic order quantity. From the economic order quantity. From economic order quantity. So substitute. Here your economic order quantity is 500 will be equal to substitute. This will be 2 times the demand you're looking for times what is the ordering cost? Ordering cost for this material A.
20,000.
Are you sure?
Ordering cost. Yes.
Yes.
It is the same.
It is the same. 20,000. Then over holding costs for material for A. Ordering cost 330.
Yes.
330. So you need D. How do we get D? How do we get D? How do we get D? Okay, how do you remove this square root?
It is by introducing a square.
We introduce
Power 2.
both sides.
Power 2.
You square both sides. So you square this. What do you get when you square this?
I'm having 250,000.
250,000 like this.
Yes. Yes.
It will be equal to 2D. It will be equal to this one, isn't it?
Yes.
So it is 2 times D. 2 times D, which is what? This is let me just put 40. Isn't it 40D? 40,000 D.
Yes.
40,000 D.
It will be equal to.
So do you need D? Is this 40,000 divisible by 330? If it is not divisible, the final answer, it will be you cross multiply. Get the 250,000 times the 320. Then the answer you get divided by what? By 40. 40,000. What do you get as your D?
2,000.
Pardon?
2,000.
2,000. Which is in terms of what?
Kilograms.
And you're done. This is the demand for the first quarter of your material A. This is the demand for your material A. What about for material for B? I will copy. Okay, these ones I will copy. Just a minute. For B, this question is easy, but sometimes it can take time. And actually, all MDC questions. Don't think that. Actually, it's all MDC questions. Okay, for B, what was our economic order quantity?
It was 4,000.
But I believe you will answer that. That one is sorted. You will do the same. That one is sorted. You do the same. You follow the same steps. Same steps. Like from here. You have the economic order quantity for B. Will change from grams to what? To kgs. Then look for the demand. Look for the demand. I believe that one you will do. You will do. For the demand, then substitute in your formula. If you're dealing with B, the holding costs will be what? will be 400. Don't use the one of A. Don't use the one of A. The holding costs, the denominator, this one you here you will put 400, but this one is the same. This one, the ordering cost was the same for this question. It will not be the same for other questions. You just need to read the question very well. Okay, so that is part A. That's how you are supposed to. That's how you are supposed to answer part A 6 marks. For both. So you look at each. Then part B, they are telling us we advise Nakato on the percentage of the cost of the prediction error. But here specifically, they are looking at our material A only. Are you seeing that? This is our material A only. So here you're dealing with only one material. You're dealing with only one material. And if when you're looking at a cost of prediction error, cost of prediction error, these are costs you suffer. Most of times, those are costs you suffer when your economic order quantity is calculated wrongly because of wrong estimates. It could be because of wrong, you estimated the wrong demand, the ordering costs or the holding costs. But as we determine the cost of, as we determine the percentage of the cost of prediction error, this is what we follow. This is what we follow. So here the cost of, always know that the cost of prediction error is equal to the total costs, this will always be the total costs after the change minus total costs before the change, minus the total costs before the change. That's how we determine the total. That's how we determine the total cost. That's how we determine the cost of prediction. Now, the costs we are talking about here, the costs we are talking about here, the costs we are, oh, another person can say new minus old. But the costs we are talking about here are the total holding costs and the ordering costs. What were the total ordering and holding costs after the change, and what was your ordering costs and the holding costs initially? So we can start before the change, before the changes in costs. Before the changes in costs, what is the ordering cost? What is the ordering costs? Do you know how we determine the ordering costs? Do you know how we determine the ordering costs? These are not ordering costs. These are ordering costs per order. Per what? Per order. So don't confuse these two. This is ordering costs per kg. So when you're looking for ordering costs, we get what? We get the demand. We get the demand, ordering costs. Demand over what? The economic order quantity. Economic order quantity. Then the answer you get multiplied by what? Multiplied by the ordering cost. the cost per order multiplied by the cost per order. Do you recall this formula? Are we still together? So substitute in your formula. Substitute in your formula, it will be, the demand will be, our demand was, basing on A, our demand was 2,000, basing on A. Our demand was 2,000. Then divided by economic order quantity. Economic order quantity in kgs was 5,000 for A, 5,000. Then multiplied by the cost per order. The cost per order was 20,000. So you will be in a position to get the ordering costs. You will be in a position to get the ordering costs, which is shillings, how much? That is shillings, isn't it 80? That is 80,000. That is ordering costs. Then you also look at holding costs. What is your holding? Your holding costs. The total holding costs. For you to get the total holding costs is equal to, now here you get the economic order. What you have down is 2. Then on your numerator is economic order quantity. Then times the holding cost per unit. The holding cost per unit. Okay, the holding cost per unit. So when you substitute, what was your economic order quantity for A? It was 500,000. Divide it by 2, then times the CH, that is the holding cost per kg. The holding cost per kg, you're looking at A. What is the holding cost per kg? 320. 320. 320. Okay. Then you will get the answer as the total holding costs will be as well as shillings 80,000. Okay, so the question is, what is your total costs? What is your total costs? The total costs before the change. The total costs will be 80,000 plus this 80. The ordering costs plus the holding costs, which is equal to 160,000. Okay. Okay.
Abel.
Yes, please.
I got internet failure somewhere. I beg you to pardon for me.
Okay, here you are with me here.
I will know ordering
Here,
cost.
Cost of prediction error is equal to total costs after the change minus total costs before what? Before the
Yes,
change.
we are there.
It is like new minus. Then now we need this. We need this. If they need the percentage error, the percentage of, if they need it, because this question they need the percentage. They need the percentage. So if they need the percentage, it's like getting what? It's like getting new minus what? Minus old over what? Over old. Do you recall how we get those percentage over old? Then everything times 100. So you get the total costs after the change minus total costs before the change over the total costs before the change. times
Okay.
100. So the question is, what is before? What was our total costs before the change? We want to start with this one. The total costs before the change. What is the total costs before the change? The total costs before the change, you need to look at the total cost is equal to ordering costs and holding costs. The question is, what is ordering? What is ordering costs? This is the formula. I believe you recall this formula somewhere.
Yes, yes.
D is your demand. Already we have our demand, our D. Then the economic order quantity in terms of kg is 500 for A. That is for A. Then times the cost per order. So that is ordering cost. Then holding costs, this is the formula. This is the formula. Okay. So there you get the total costs before the change. This is before the change. Are we together here?
Yes.
So now we need to look at what is the total cost after the change now. What is the total costs? Costs when there are some changes. What is changing? Are all costs changing, or we have only one variable? When you look at the question, it's only what ordering costs that are going to increase. Here they told us that the ordering costs per order had been budgeted to increase the ordering costs. But the demand, are you seeing this? The demand and holding costs have remained what? Have remained the same. So we have only the ordering costs changing. When the ordering costs, what is the total costs when this one changes? When this one after the change. So we will need the new ordering CO, cost per what? Cost per order. It will be what? It will be what? Can you guess? It will be what? From what they are telling us? It is going to increase by what?
By 31,000.
I used to call 31,200.
Yes.
Initially it was what? Initially it was 20,000. Initially it was 20,000, and it is going to increase by 31,200. 31,200. What do you get? That is 51,200. So it means that this one will change the what? The economic order quantity. This one will change. The demand will remain the same. The demand will remain the same as what? 2,000. But also the holding costs are going to remain the what? To remain the same. The holding costs are going to remain the same, which was 3,020. But whenever there is a change in one of the variable, it means that the economic order quantity must do what?
Let's change.
Do you normally call economic order quantity or economic key? Or you put here D? So economic order quantity, you bring the formula here. Substitute very fast. Substitute. This will be 2 times the demand is what? 2,000. Then times what is the CO? CO you have as 51,200. Then CH holding costs. Holding costs are 320. On your calculator, what do you get?
8,800.
800, either 800 kgs. Okay, so that is the after the change. So go ahead and determine what? The ordering cost, substitute in this formula. So what is the new ordering? The new ordering costs. So substitute. This will be, what is your D? 2,000 over, what is your economic order quantity? 800. Then times CO, which is 51,200. What do you get? What do you get? This is shillings how much?
I'm having 128,000.
128,000. Perfect. Then what is your new holding costs? Your new holding costs. Substitute in the formula. Substitute in the formula. This will be how much? The economic order quantity, you have calculated it as 800 over 2, then times CH. CH is holding cost per unit per kg is, that is 320. What do you get?
I'm having 128,000. It has remained the same with the ordering cost.
It is the same still, eh? Okay. So what is the total costs? The total costs after the change will be what? The 128, then plus 120, 128, which is how much?
Which is the 256.
Shillings 256.
Which is 6,000.
256,000. So once you have this, it is easy for you to get. First of all, what is the cost of prediction? What is the cost of prediction error? What is the cost of prediction error? It is the after minus the before. The after is what? The total cost after is this one minus before. The total cost before is how much? 160. Are you seeing that? 160. So this percentage error, or rather cost of prediction error. Cost of prediction error is how much?
It's 96,000. 96,000.
96,000. I repeat, cost of prediction error. Cost of prediction error is the cost you suffer when your economic order quantity is calculated wrongly. It could be because of wrong estimates of demand, wrong estimates of ordering cost per unit, or because of wrong errors in holding costs. Okay, when those assumptions used in the formula are wrong, the output becomes wrong, and that one will lead to high quantity. Okay, can you hear me? Someone had called me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so finally, let's look at the percentage of error, which will be the cost of prediction. I can simply say that it is the cost of prediction There are a lot of ways. Cost of prediction of our original costs times 100. Just to know it is new minus old over old. You still get the same. So what is the cost here? It is 96. Prediction cost of error 96,000 over what is the original cost before the change. It was what before the change? 16,000, 160, 160, 160. Then the answer you get multiplied by 100. What do you get in terms of percentage?
60%.
And that is your percentage of prediction error. Prediction cost prediction percentage of cost of prediction. And you're done. You're done. Are you seeing how the number is sweet? How the number is easy? All these numbers are easy, but they can be time consuming. But I can tell you, there is no MDC number calculation. Every number is time consuming. Just you need to be fast. You need to be fast. Have you seen a topic which doesn't take time?
No.
All these numbers take time. So you just, whether it is ABC, whether it is what, budgeting, whether it is what, you just need to be fast. Be fast. I think I can't stretch beyond this. What we are going to do is to discuss. I think you need like more too, and it will be enough for you.